It is not lost on me that Carson Beck is playing at Texas A&M before Georgia does. Uh, Welcome to My God a Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I preview the opening round of the 2025 College Football Playoff. We talk about what we're looking for in the games, and we answer questions from you, our listeners. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned MyGottaPodcast.com to see our latest merch. And you can follow us on social media at MyGottaPodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress. Back for another bi-week episode. Bi-week episode number 3 of the season.
Yeah, it's a CFP bye week for all who happy CFP bye week for all who celebrate.
Yes. Yes. Kind of weird. I realized a little bit earlier tonight. So we've been watching it. We finished up a show or a season 1 of a show with the girls. Entertainments. Uh, we watched
Mm.
Paradise with them.
Hey, I
Um,
just got done watching that too.
Dude, great show.
It's
Uh,
a good show with the dude from This Is
from
Us.
This Is Us. Yes, Randall. It was funny
Randall, yeah.
when we turned it on, because I had seen that season 2 was about to come out. So I said something to Kim. I was like, "Hey, we should watch it with the girls." And so we did, and they were like, "Is there anyone in this that we know?" And like he was all I could think of. But then I was like, "But you probably don't really know him." But then once it started, they knew James Marsden from I can't even think of the name. He was in
A
some
lot of
Disney
a
movie.
lot of things.
Yeah, he was in the Disney movie or Enchanted. He was in the Enchanted movies, so they knew him at
Enchanted.
least from that. But he's been in all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
he's Cyclops. All the things.
wasn't he in the Notebook?
Was he in the Notebook? I don't know
I
that
think
they've
he
seen. I don't know that they've seen that. I've
I
seen
think
that.
he was in the Notebook.
Off the rails. Uh, when so when that finished, I looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a bowl game on tonight." So were you aware of that? And this is where Josh yells at his podcast player, saying, "See, nobody watches bowl games." Um, but there were actually 2 bowl games today. So South Florida lost to Old Dominion, and as we're recording, John, Delaware is beating Louisiana 10-3 in the '68 Ventures Bowl. So that's happening.
And then we've got more bowl games in the Fighting Owls of Kennesaw State are playing on Friday.
Mm, when is that? Man,
Uh
Friday.
11 a.m. on Friday.
That's wild. Okay.
In the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Okay, we had the Myrtle Beach Bowl and the Gasparilla Bowl are the appetizers before the CFP first round game at night. That's
on
interesting.
on a Friday, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still working on Friday, so um. Anyway,
Isn't that doesn't that like present some some problems like from a recovery standpoint when you have one of the playoff games a day earlier?
yeah. I mean, and it was
Is that how it
so
was last year?
it was. And do you know who played on the Friday game last year? The team that beat us, Notre Dame. They had
Mm.
now. Granted, I guess we had even more rest because we had a bye, but um,
But they have
they
more rest than everyone else from that
yeah,
lineup of games.
yeah, yeah. Um, true.
That's interesting. So you got Oklahoma and Alabama. So if history serves, one of these teams makes it to the
True. Uh, Good question. It wasn't, well, actually, yes. I don't know how they're doing this. So because last year it wasn't the 8-9 game that
Okay.
was Friday night. I can't remember what it was Notre Dame, Indiana was that game. I can't remember what they were seated. So let's see. I guess that was the 8, 9, 10, 6 or whatever.
We could always look at the 2024 or
Yeah,
2025.
but even the 8-9 winner um, won the whole thing last year. So for what it's worth, because that was
The 8-9 winner won the whole thing.
yeah, Ohio State was eight.
Mm, okay.
So
So if history serves, Oklahoma could be
Oklahoma's
the
gonna
next
run the table.
from the Friday night spot.
Right. I will say I do that though is where again like I think they did make a good change from last year to this year and change how the buys work and that it's just based on your ranking, not the whole like you have to be a conference champion to get a buy. Because that kind of threw a wrench in some of it last year and I think led to some weird matchups. So I think that was a good thing. I think that's a good change. If you're gonna have the 12 team playoff, I think this year is better than last year
Yeah.
as far as the format goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the whole thing is definitely going to be interesting because you got some of these games are on like some of these games are on TNT and HBO Max. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, ESPN. Then that was their last year too. I gotta say, like, I mean, honestly, like last year, I mean, I watched the Friday game. I watched that Notre Dame Indiana game. Then on
Hmm.
Saturday with the three games, I was not like locked into the TV. I'll tell you that for those that first round. Um, I think I like went to
I'm
a brewery with some buddies. We were kind of like hanging out. Like I was not like sitting around watching football all day like I do on a normal college Saturday. Honestly,
I wonder if that's why they put the 8 and 9 spot on the Friday games because so they could take advantage of the larger audience size on one game, and it's like two teams that are pretty evenly matched, and it's an SEC matchup. So ESPN gets to favor their brand on a major spotlight as a single night game. And
yeah, that's
then
true.
all these other games are matchups of, for the most part, the lower ranked teams versus higher ranked teams. I mean, you can make an argument Texas A&M and Miami, but Miami just squirted in at the by the hair of their chin.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe
the afternoon and night game is kind of I expect those to be very pedestrian games.
on Saturday.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
3:30 and the 7:30 game, you got Ole Miss versus Tulane at 3:30, and you got Oregon versus James Madison. Which I guess are we going to see Billy Napier on the sideline in the CFP?
I bet he'll be there. I bet he'll like be in the box or something. Like like in like the president's box or something.
So amazing. Florida's at home watching their coach walk around the sideline of James Madison.
Again, I still think it's crazy that you've got three teams in this playoff with either a lame duck coach that is leaving or brand new coach. Um, that's wild. But yeah, dude, on those Saturday games, Ole Miss is favored by 17 and a half, and
Mm.
Oregon is favored by 21. Like,
Oof.
what are we doing?
Yeah, where are these compelling games that Josh was talking about?
Should we skip to to your listener question that Josh responded to?
The questions are coming from inside the building.
I was like, wait, what is this? I was pulling the listener questions again. I was like, what happened here? Uh,
Yeah, we might as well. We can go ahead and tackle that.
Here, I even made a graphic for it for
Oh, you
if
did?
you're on the
Ooh,
YouTube. So this is the first time ever that
long time listener, first time caller.
John Powell is on the screen with his questions. Sources indicate. Okay, this comes from John Powell at Powell John T on Twitter. Uh, Sources indicate that high profile, expanded playoff proponents like Dogstats are admitting that there are not 12 good teams in college football. Does this mean we can gain support in our coalition to contract? Runs and hides. Uh, I will give Josh his moment because he replied and said, there aren't 64 good teams in the NCAA's in the basketball tournament, but I'd rather watch meaningful games than exhibition ones. Also, playoffs often aren't won by the best team, but that is a feature, not a bug. Man, I love how much Josh and I disagree on this stuff. Um, anyway,
Love you, mean it.
I'm
But
I'm
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 sorry
to
when you have a 21 point when you have a 21 point spread, like this is what are we doing?
it does feel weird. Um and I'm not even like I think I said this on the last one. Like I think they got the field right based on their
Rules.
charge or whatever. Yeah, like based on the format, I don't have an issue with what the committee did this year. Only, I mean, I think Georgia should have been number two, but whatever. We're talking about like a place. Um, but it's just, yeah, you shouldn't. I don't. I think it's really weird that you have two opening round games with a spread that big, and that it's these teams that are like the five seed getting that right. Like it's not even like a number one seed. You know, I mean, the number one seed team is not going to get as big of a spread in their first game. Granted, that's going to be a quarterfinal, but still, I think it's kind of weird, which is why they're going to expand to 16, by the way. So
I
that's
just
my,
think it's weird. I just think that it's weird that we have number 22 Lane and number 24 James Madison in over a team like Notre Dame or Texas.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me again with the current format, but I get it. I
And
have
Notre Dame
seen,
beat one of them teams that's in the CFP playoff.
yeah. What I don't, or something that I've seen suggested is what if you said, so in like the Tulane and James Madison part. Like what if you added another qualifier to say like you get an auto or whatever auto bid. It's the five highest ranked conference champions, but there's another criteria where you have to be in the top X. So like let's say you have to be a top 20 team or you have to be a top 15 team in the rankings, something like that. You can't be like the 30th ranked team yet the fifth highest ranked conference champion and get in. Something like that. I
Yeah,
think
like
I'd
I
be
mean,
okay with that.
I think that we're a whisker away from having that situation right now because you've got James Madison. I talked about it on the last episode. Like that schedule is hot garbage.
Yeah.
I hear I would be okay with a scenario like that, but I would not want it to be based on I don't know that I would want it to be based on like you have to have a ranking of a certain caliber. Like I mean, I think top 15, top 20, like that seems like somewhere in that range feels g better than what we've got right now. Like, you got to be ranked in the top 20. Um, but you also have to have a schedule strength of XYZ if you're not in the Power Four
Mm,
or Power Five conference. Like your strength of schedule has to be of a certain caliber to even be considered for this, even as a conference champion. Like the Sun
yeah.
Belt, I it's it's intellectually dishonest to treat the Sun Belt and what's this other one? What's the other conference that these I see like I mean that in and of itself is probably a measuring stick for why this is stupid. Like I can't even think of the name of the conference that we're talking about that got one of these auto qualifiers.
I it's the American, I think.
The AAC or whatever.
Yeah, well they rebranded. They're now just the American.
Okay, so it's the American Conference and the Sun Belt Conference.
Uh Correct. Yes. So
See, like
Tulane is in the American. I know JMU is in Sunbelt.
in my opinion, treating those two conferences as if they are the same caliber of conference as the SEC and the Big Ten just seems intellectually dishonest.
Yeah, I mean I know some people have talked about should they have their own playoff kind of thing.
Yes, yes. The short answer is yes.
Yeah.
They should have their own division of college football and they should have their own playoff.
Yeah.
I think Graham was talking about some similar stuff like that kind of feeds into a lot of this conversation is that some of these also rans even in Division One like um college football has largely become a like if you are a team like James Madison or Tulane where you have a player that maybe is able to, or even in Indiana, because I'm not so much convinced that Indiana is going to be a lasting team in a top five, top four kind of vein. I'm
Yeah.
not convinced that that's a sustainable situation for them, but I could be wrong. But I mean, Tulane and James Madison by and large are not going to be here next year, is my expectation. And it's because they hit lightning in a bottle with a player here or there. And then all of a sudden they'll fizzle out when that player's ends up transferring to an LSU or a Florida or whatever the case may be, which is kind of what we're already seeing, like these players that are a part of teams that get scooped up by the bigger teams, and it's like a farm system. And we're already treating them differently from a player standpoint because the players don't even want to stay there. The coaches don't want to stay there. You mentioned Tulane and James Madison they're already replacing their coaches. Like why, if this is so great for the little guys and we're trying to like foster and build up this Cinderella story like that we get in college basketball, like to me it's just it's intellectually dishonest. It's not a sustainable strategy for these smaller schools. Ultimately, it's the Power Four, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah. What if we added a qualifier that your coach, if your coach is leaving you, you're ineligible for the
Yeah,
playoff?
seriously.
Sorry, Ole Miss. I guess that would involve Ole Miss too. But
I mean, I would say that it's not fair to the the players.
that's, yeah, I know. I
It's not fair to the players, but at the same time, like we're living in a world where it's F them kids. You know what I mean?
know. Right. Yeah. Bring on the contracts, as you say, John.
Dude, I've been ever since this whole thing came out, I'm like, great, like let's just go ahead and fast forward to the contracts because this is the whole transfer portal situation is not sustainable as well. Like that's a whole other conversation, which we should probably talk about that and under this umbrella of these teams don't have coaches and even like the situation like that's unfolding at Michigan where
Oof.
you've got a coach that's fired, and then you literally have a recruiting class that by and large looks as if they were lied to or at least deceptively manipulated in such a way to get them to sign, get them on campus, get them enrolled, and get them into a situation that they would be very difficult for them to get out of, and then fire their coach. When you had and when the administration had and knew the information that they were using to fire him for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild times in college football. Honestly, I'm thinking back to like Julian Sayin at Ohio State now, former Georgia commit, by the way, but
Hmm.
ends up going to Alabama, signs in December, enrolls early, Saban retires, and left right away, I believe. I don't think he ever was on Alabama's roster during a season. So, I mean, you say hard to leave, and I would agree, but could be done. We'll see. We'll see how they are able to keep that
I can't
together.
remember when Saban retired though.
Right, right.
Like what was that
It was
timing?
it
What
was
was that
after.
timing?
Well, it would have been in January. It was in
Yeah.
January because it was. I mean, I'm saying that because it was after they lost the Rose Bowl to Michigan.
Mm. Okay.
Dude, I'm floored by this whole. Um, so is it? I think it's Tulane's coach is going to Florida. If I'm getting my coaching
Summerall, is that
carousel
his name?
right, so he's going to Florida. He's poached Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech to be his offensive coordinator, and now Buster Faulkner is bringing the Tech backup quarterback Philo with him. So that's wild. I'd rather those guys leave and go somewhere that they're not going to play us. But I'm just thinking back to we got a question earlier in the season about Tech and is this stuff with Key it's like sustainable or was it just Haynes King and I actually mentioned like, well, the other quarterback's actually pretty good and all this stuff, but man, that's tough week for Georgia Tech fans. I'll say that.
Yeah. I think that I think that's a great example of a team that's probably not going to be able to sustain ha not having a coordinator. They're the most prolific offense in the country, but then they played Georgia, so like I guess that this is going to be a measuring stick situation for Buster Faulkner on whether or not if he does well at Florida, like you know, FTMF, and hope you score 6 points against Georgia.
Yeah.
But I imagine he'll probably end up doing well, and this seems like it's the next stepping stone for his career trajectory to take a job as a head coach eventually.
Yeah.
That would be my guess is that he felt like he couldn't get a head coaching job as Georgia Tech's offensive coordinator, and I guess it is interesting to me that they went ahead and he took a lateral move because I kind of thought that it could have been done. Like he could have gotten a head coaching job, but maybe if he has success at Florida and, there's a higher profile job that he could potentially go to next.
Right.
But it is interesting that they took Philo. Like he's he has like the passing record for Georgia high school or something like that, and but he's got Haynes King running his brains out.
Yeah. I mean, and DJ
Like,
Lagway saw one look at that tape and was like, I'm out here. uh,
yeah, I think someone also said that Philo has a worse touchdown interception ratio than Lagway does.
hmm, interesting. Interesting. I just saw some breaking news during the as we were recording.
Uh-oh.
I was looking. Oh, it's good news. Uh, actually, I guess it wasn't. I guess I just saw it. It's old. Sorry, you may have already known this. Kirby Smart is a finalist for the Dodd Trophy.
That's going to trigger a lot of folks, particularly the trolls that like to make fun of our graduation rates and stuff.
Mm, yeah, yeah,
And the arrests or whatever, like the traffic violations that we seem to just not be able to get away from.
well, and now shoplifting gate.
Yeah, which undercurrent of the charges are going to get dropped.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, so it has to be true.
I read it on the internet, Jim.
Yeah, when I was trying to look up some of the awards on the news and notes end because we do have an actual Ray Guy award winner now in one Brett Thorson, so that's pretty sweet. And then I think
Yes.
I what I was trying to look for is that Bo Gardner won whatever the award is that they give to the long snapper. I found it,
The
the Patrick Manley Long Snapper Award.
the
So
Long Snapper Award.
long snapper. So that was the thing. How about that Brett Thorson won the Ray Guy Award? He's first team All American, but he was not first team All SEC. What's going on with that?
Mm,
Kind of weird.
brutal.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Like, yeah.
Sorry.
Did he miss a bunch of SEC games? And did he miss some SEC games and just didn't like because he was out for a minute, right?
No, he just got going kind of. Oh wait, yeah. Did he miss? Yeah, he did.
I
You're
thought
right.
he
You're
missed a
right.
game.
You're right. He did miss a game. You're right.
I thought he missed a game or two or something like that.
Yeah, he really came on late in the year. Got back to his old form.
You love
I
to see it.
I miss Mullets on the mic, by the way.
I miss mullets on the mic as well. I see it in my Apple like library or whatever. It's like you last listened to this in February. Ah,
Yeah.
I hate everything.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, I don't know. What else is going on out there?
I don't know, man. I'm telling you I tell you what I don't like, which I feel like is going to be a unification for everyone that's like, oh, I want to expand the playoff. Oh, I want to contract the playoff. Like, I think we can all agree that having your school post that you've re-signed when
Mhm.
you're like a starting quarterback, like Arch Manning, like why are we making graphics for people like that to return? Like where were you go where are you going? To quote Coach Hayes. Like,
Yeah.
can we please stop doing stupid stuff?
I mean, that's nowhere on the level, like nowhere on the level of Run It Back. Remember Run It Back from 2020 to 2021? That was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just do that. Why do we have to say they re-upped their contract or whatever? I don't know.
Someone's eventually gonna run a the decision video to on whether or not they're gonna come back.
Mm.
And it's like you were very clearly coming back. Like there's no way that you were not coming back.
Yep.
Carter and I got into an argument today about whether or not Gunner was coming back. And he was like, "Oh no, he's been there for 4 years. He can't come back." I'm like, but he can." And I made him
uh,
Google it, and I made him Google it, and he goes, "Gosh darn it, you're right." It's
Sorry,
like, yeah,
Carter.
he's got eligibility, bro, and he's I would suspect that he's coming back for sure, but I guarantee you what you're not going to see is the University of Georgia putting out a graphic like that.
No, no. We are what's important now. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that they might do is to like tongue in cheek kind of throw a nod to it would be like, I don't know, showing him driving his truck to practice or something like that.
yeah. 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 Post a picture of a cow.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, college football is insane right now, dude. I just feel like that it's the freight train of greed, money, and growth is just on a collision course with sanity, reason, and logic. Um,
I saw I
we need
saw
contracts. We need contracts. We need buyouts for players. I think that if you start doing situations like that, then it will push people to not try to shoot their wad on a program like Texas Tech or you know, I I just think that there's got to be some way to prevent just this every year is free agency kind of thing.
yeah. I want to see the Pac-12 come back. I know they actually are coming back, by the way. Like they're adding teams, but it's like Mountain West type schools. Um, I want to see it really come back and get the West Coast teams back out playing against each other. To me, that's actually my biggest issue right now is the conference over expansion and having these West Coast teams play in the Atlantic Coast Conference, things like that. I think
Stupid.
the conferences are too big. It's making for really weird schedules. Which, by the way, the ACC is playing a split schedule next year, where some teams play 8 games and some play 9, as a transition year to or something. Um,
That is actually the moment that college football jumped the shark is
so, yeah,
like just imagine if Georgia, Alabama, and LSU and Texas A&M only had to play 8 games and
and
everybody
everybody
else had
else
to
played
play
9.
9.
Yeah, absolutely wild, absolutely wild. But I mean, this is all happening because the conferences have gotten so big, and they're trying to figure out all the schedules. And I mean, that's how you end up with whatever Duke was, 7-5 or whatever. That's how they end up winning the ACC because these teams aren't playing each other, you know? So I don't know. 12 team, gotta get off my lawn. 12-team conferences with 6-team divisions where it was perfect. So get me back to that. That's my bigger gripe right now, honestly, than the playoff and the other stuff. But that's not going
Yeah.
to change either. So whatever. I need to get used to it.
When they came out with the schedule, I have a magnet on my grill that is of Uga raising his leg and peeing on a Tennessee helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not seeing that particular shade of orange on our schedule was a special kind of gut punch.
Yeah. It is weird. It is weird. And we start on the road again, by the way. I think this will be the third year in a row that our SEC opener is on the road.
Mm,
I don't know
amazing.
Don't know what's up with that. Oh, and by the way, we have to go back to Alabama and back to Ole Miss again already, and still no at. We already knew this, but still don't go to Texas A&M. Cool. All right, you want to go through the rest of the listener questions and then kind of go from there.
Let's just do it live, Jim.
We'll do it live. Hey, go head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Listener questions are brought to you by them. They've helped us out their website. Go check out their work, and they'll know that we sent you their way. Let's see. We have 51 to 7 GATA sent in our first question. So he says, uniform Twitter. Should the dogs use their white jerseys in the Sugar Bowl, especially with this basically being a road game regardless of the opponent? He had attached some pictures of Georgia playing in Sugar Bowls in the white jerseys. I know people do. That is a talking point around. We play better in white. I don't know.
You
I actually.
know, we also play pretty good in black too, Jim.
Oh, here we go. It was a uniform Twitter question. Um, it, I think it's interesting twofold. Actually, like to me, the second part is actually super interesting. With this us playing in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. I mean, that's where Tulane is, and then Ole Miss right down the road. So either way, whoever we play in that game, um, gonna be interesting. Road game for us, at least travel wise. I don't know about fan wise, fan presence wise, but travel wise it will be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm curious to see how this pans out because I've heard anecdotally that a lot of Georgia fans are potentially going to be sitting on the sideline for this game as a, rematch potential with Ole Miss, and then Tulane doesn't exactly present a whole lot of excitement from a fan exposure standpoint. Everyone's kind of assuming that Ole Miss is going to win, and so that rematch, coupled with the fact that the next games are in Phoenix, and then you win that one, you got to go to Miami. So like, there's it, it gets expensive quick, man. And some people don't have PTO, and
Yeah.
if you only have a certain number of days of PTO, you got to calculate how you're going to use it, and it may not include going to a quarterfinal game you know, at in New Orleans. Had that game been a home game for us, I guarantee you, like there would be a lot more excitement and involvement in that game. But anecdotally, I'm hearing that a lot of folks are kind of sitting on the sidelines for this one. I'm sure that there will be plenty of folks that end up going, but
I mean, I think you're asking a lot of fans, right? I mean, you've already gone to all these games throughout the season. Maybe you just went to the SEC championship game in Atlanta, and you
right.
had, and I mean, if we're to go all the way, then you're talking about New Orleans, Phoenix, and Miami. Like, it's a lot. Um, I also think they have it backwards. Like, the games this weekend, those should be at bowl sites. The teams that won the bye quarterfinals should be on campus, in my opinion, but
Agreed.
not the opening round. I don't see why those teams earn this great thing that the top four seeds don't earn. Seems kind of weird.
And that's where you find out what everything really means and what everything is about is because the Bulls don't want their prestige taken away
Right, right, right. No,
because then
just play them at the Pop Tart Bowl.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
um,
College
my
football is so cooked.
the it's low key cooked. The first part of the question though, I actually don't know. Like, so yeah, we're the higher seed. I assume we're the home team. I assume we do get to pick. But we're gonna wear red. There's no
Yeah,
way we pick white. I'll say that.
yeah, whatever happens, I'm sure we're gonna end up in red.
All right, let's go to Fletcher Proctor, where we have the basketball at least minute, because he started off the number 25 ranked Georgia basketball team. It feels so good. Dogs, number 25. I think the Cincinnati game was a game that Fletcher was pointing to preseason, asking us questions about before the season even started. And I don't know if you watched any of that game. There's a struggle in the first half. We actually looked not very good early in the game, but then finally started hitting some shots, although not really from the 3 point line, but tied it up at half and then just absolutely worked them in the second half. Dominated for the I'm trying to think of hoops giving, I think, in Atlanta. Um, and absolutely dominated that game. Dogs are ranked. You've got John Rothstein actually tweeting about Georgia basketball. What a time to be alive. It's pretty amazing.
Well, they keep staying number one in the country in offense.
Woo. Yeah.
I
That,
mean,
yeah.
bruh,
I know. It was like, I think heading into the Cincinnati game, we're scoring like 99 point something points a game.
it's fun
Absolutely
to
crazy.
watch.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. They are fun. Need to have the threes start to drop at a higher frequency in conference play. But hey, man, this team is 9-1, and I think I have learned the roster for the most part now. I think I'm good. I'm broken in. I know who these guys are. Um, and how about this? Looking ahead, but we've also scheduled a home and home series with UNC with North Carolina. So
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
saw that. I saw
yeah.
that.
So we'll be at Chapel Hill next year, and then I think 2 years after they'll do the return trip to Athens. So that's pretty sweet. That's fun.
That'll be a fun one
Yeah.
to send a bunch of Georgia fans to what is it? It's not Cameron because Cameron's the one for Duke, right? What do they call it?
You know what? I have no idea. Yeah,
Like the
Cameron is
name
Duke.
the name of the Chapel Hill Stadium, I feel like has one of those kind of names, but I can't remember it.
I don't know, like the Dean Dome. I know that's
The
that.
Dean Dome.
I know that's something they say. I think for Dean Smith, but I don't know what the actual name is. Um. Okay. So Fletcher, hopefully that was. I think that was basketball minutes, even potentially. But he also said how many excuses is Bama going to use if and when they lose to Oklahoma? Is Have you seen all the like Ty Simpson's back is hurt stuff? Did you see that floating around?
I did see some. I did see a little bit of that.
I mean, they've never lost a game when they had a fully healthy roster, or yeah.
Yeah. That whole concept is, I mean, they're talking about that. They're talking about lights in Norman. Like, come on, guys. Like,
I
there are
missed I
so
missed that.
many. You missed that?
Yeah, what is that?
So Jeremy Bernard made a comment that their struggles against Oklahoma in Norman as of recently is because the lights in Norman are oriented in a weird way, in a strange way to make it hard to see the ball. So
Okay.
like literally Jeremy Bernard was saying that they struggle in Norman, Oklahoma because it's hard to see the ball because the lights are too bright. So effectively the lights are too bright for Alabama and Norman, Oklahoma, apparently.
Dude, I was gonna say like he walked right into that one.
Like I really don't understand why that's the thing because yeah. I mean Oklahoma has to play there. Like
Right.
what?
Yeah. Everyone's playing the same conditions.
Come on,
Interesting.
guys.
Um, and then the last one, I guess we kind of talked about this, but why do we have to pretend JMU and Tulane deserve to be in this CFP field? I'll say they deserve to be in based on the parameters that were set, where you can. I think it's fine to disagree with the parameters, but based on the system we have, it's fine.
Yeah,
And we
based
all
on
know that
this.
I don't. We all know that I don't like the system, but neither here nor there.
Yeah, seriously. It is what it is.
Is what it is. All right, we skipped ahead earlier and answered this John Powell guy's question in dog stats. Uh, so we'll go to friend of the show Tim Riley.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry, Josh. There's not 12 good teams contract the playoffs field. Play games on college campuses. Um, Yeah, make the conferences smaller, make the regular season matter. Give me, I'll take more soul-crushing losses.
Yeah, seriously.
Someone also did an analysis about the upsets that have been happening in college football and how those have been remarkably dropped in frequency because of the way that we're structured.
I mean, okay. So we can keep talking about the playoff format for a minute there. Let's hang on that because I'm gonna go into the Wayback Machine, John.
Mm, okay.
Remember when we went on? I'm trying to remember what the show was called at the time. I think it was called Dog Sports Live with Josh and Graham, and we
Hmm.
sat and argued about playoff for like an hour before it expanded. I think that was actually one of your like counterpoints on expanding the playoff was like look at the FCS system. FCS has this huge playoff, but you actually have like more dominant teams in FCS, arguably even than in FBS. Like you've got like, and I'm not going to pretend to know which one it is, but like these like the Dakota State schools, like North Dakota State and like South Dakota State. I mean, those teams are like pretty dominant and they're like winning year after year, even with this, you know, big FCS playoff. So I don't think that, and I'm not saying this is the goal of it, but like the expanded playoff, I don't think like brings parity, to the national championship winners. I think you still end up with these dynasties.
Yeah, I mean, basically you have the haves and the have-nots, and I think that you still have a situation where about the only thing that I think that the current platform is good for is um, helping players get identified that can then transfer to away from the have-nots to the haves.
Right. Right.
It's a farm system. It's a farm system to identify like talent that you maybe missed out on because, maybe this person went to, let's just say, for example, I don't know, you're a Bear Alexander person and you went to USC to take a paycheck and then realized that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And now you've moved to Oregon, who's in the CFP, and now you can get your championship run. Or you're a situation where you're in a school like Texas and you're not happy with, where you're at, Justice Terry, you move on or I mean there's a couple of different examples of this happening. Like, I mean, Diego Pavia got kind of discovered, right, at New
Yeah.
Mexico, and now he's at Vanderbilt, and um, you've got these guys that are taking these players because they have a higher profile in the way that the things are structured right now, and I just think that it just waters down everything, and just at the end of the day, like, okay, we've done this for what? The expanded playoff. When did we go? How long has it been since we went from four teams?
This is only year two.
I mean, year two. Like, I just, I mean, even with the four-team playoff, like, who's won the national championship? It's the Blue Bloods. Like,
Yeah. 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 I agree.
and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
You totally are going to make Indiana win this whole thing now because of saying that.
I just don't. Okay, hot take, Jim.
Yeah.
I think Indiana is this year's TCU.
Mm, man. Okay. Okay. So
I think they're gonna get exposed in this playoff.
definitely possible. Definitely possible. Well, hey, they're going to get either Alabama or Oklahoma in round two. So
I kind of hope that Oklahoma wins just because that Alabama defense is garbage, hot garbage. I'd like to see Indiana play this Oklahoma defense
yeah.
because I still think that there's a world where the Ohio State defense is still kind of unchallenged, for lack
Hmm.
of a better description.
Gotcha.
They struggled with Texas and Texas got boat raced. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's hit friend of the show, Tim Riley. He has a threefer. He says, why would Georgia not want to see Ole Miss for a rematch?
because it's hard to beat a team twice.
And because Tulane isn't as good. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think that it'd be nice to not have to play these rematches. That's another thing that I don't like about the expanded playoff is that it creates so much opportunity for these rematches, and
yeah.
I hate that.
I mean, Tulane Ole Miss is a rematch. Like, that's a rematch. Like, that's a
We've
rematch.
we've got Oklahoma, Alabama. You've
Oklahoma's
got
Alabama
Tulane, Ole
rematch.
Miss.
Yeah,
What else?
we will have, well, not necessarily, but odds are we're gonna have a rematch in the
Yeah.
quarterfinal with Ole Miss. So yeah,
If your whole mantra is like settle it on the field, play the games, that kind of thing, like we already did play the games.
I agree with you so much. Okay, you're speaking my language there. Um, who has the toughest first round game? I mean, JMU. I don't know if that's the answer he's looking for.
Yeah, JMU for sure. I would say that Alabama probably has the toughest game. Let's just exclude the
Sure,
Tulane and
sure.
and James Madison. Um, yeah, I would actually say James Madison maybe has the toughest game, but let's just ignore those two outliers because they just stick out like a sore thumb. Like, who
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
has a tougher game, Texas A&M versus Miami or Oklahoma versus Alabama?
I mean, the line is closer for Alabama, Oklahoma. I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
I think Oklahoma and Alabama is probably the toughest game on that schedule.
yeah,
Alabama on the road with their back up against the wall. Coach has got something to prove. That black hoodie is just stinking of loss.
yeah. I mean, does he keep wearing it at this point? Like, I don't know.
Yes, of course he is. He's gonna
Okay,
he's gonna wear that stupid black hoodie
okay, okay.
until someone tells him to not wear it.
Right. Um.
Or until he takes the Michigan job.
Oh my gosh.
After
Yeah.
coming out
Seriously.
after coming out and releasing his vote of confidence for the University of Alabama, like
Yeah. I was like, he's gone when he did that.
what I think is hilarious is people are putting on the Photoshop of Kirby Smart in Michigan gear, and I just think that's amazing. Just
Yeah. I
amazing.
don't know what's going on with that.
Kirby is listening to Michigan's offer.
Yeah. I saw that today. That was hilarious.
Is he listening to it because he thinks it's funny? Like what's going on?
Right. Right. That's his agent trying to get more money. That's a
Yeah.
Jimmy Sexton's
I
plan.
mean, based on the money that's flying around, I don't see how that doesn't happen, but
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Tim's last one was outside of X's and O's. Do the teams that have a bye have a disadvantage?
I guess it just remains to be seen. As Jim mentioned, we're on year two of this expanded playoff situation, but
Yeah.
I I think taking a month off is an awfully long time to be idle, as we've seen from the police report in Athens.
Yeah. It is, and in that the team that it was one thing when you were waiting to play in the New Year's Day game, but so was your opponent. And the fact that the opponent has a week head start after they also got a layoff, by the way, right? So they get at least a week off before their game, and then they're going back to back. So I don't know. I definitely do though agree with something I've been repeating of that, small sample size of just last year. Let's kind of wait to see how this year plays out, and especially with the changes that they made. Where last year you had two teams that got buys that would not have received a buy in the current system, in Arizona State and Boise State. So I feel like that's half of the teams that had that happen to them. So let's kind of see how this year goes.
Yeah,
Cool.
agreed.
All right, that's what we got for listener questions. You want to do some picks? You want to do some picks for these playoff games?
We can do some picks. Just to clarify, this is for fun, not for coaches pick'ems, correct him?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What if I play if I play the music, does it mean it's for coaches pickums?
Oh, I should have kept my mouth shut. I could play it on a technicality.
Oh my God! My God, a freshman.
Gotta put
Shenanigans.
glasses on.
1980 rule, brother.
Sorry, that was fun. Let's do some picks. Let's do some picks. Shout out Coach Jobo. All right, so let's just do these like in order of when they occur. So first one, Friday night, Alabama at Oklahoma, 8 p.m. on ABC. Oklahoma is actually a 1 point favorite in this game. Here I actually pulled up some stuff here. Um, the CFB graphs, like Parker Fleming, he has Oklahoma winning super tight, 21.39 to 20.87. So definitely looks like it's going to be a close one. I went to Josh's and John's, what they've got, the dog stats at Speakeasy. Um, he has the live win probability from what is it? I don't even know how you say it. Is it Kalshi? Kalshi? And it's like it's split at 50-50. Maybe this doesn't matter, but I just am looking at it from, is Oklahoma really going to beat Alabama the first three times they play in this, since Oklahoma joined? And I think, like, had I not seen what Alabama looks like when we played them, I would have taken Alabama as well. Um, so I don't know. It's like from that reason I'm leaning Oklahoma, but I don't know. I feel like these guys never go away for some reason, so I think I'm going to actually take Alabama.
Ah. Um, give me Oklahoma and Norman.
Okay, that's probably the smart pick.
I think that I think that I think that they've got the home field advantage. They've got a wounded elephant, so to speak.
Yeah,
And as long as do we actually, I tell you what, I'm gonna make this basis a lot simpler. Is Jam Miller healthy?
that is a great question that I do not know the answer to.
Jam Miller injury. Let's see here. Oh, says that he is available. Jam Miller available for Alabama football. Um, when do they have they already posted? It's Wednesday. That they have to post the availability reports, right?
That is an SEC thing, so that's a conference game thing.
Is this a conference game?
I mean, technically no. Good question.
Got it. So they don't have to post injury availability. They don't have to post availability.
I do not believe they do. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
understanding. Yeah.
I'll still take Oklahoma, but yeah, Oklahoma definitely if Jam Miller is unavailable.
Okay. Okay.
For the reasons that I stated in our review episode of this game.
Yep. 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 Okay. Let's see. The next game up Saturday, the 12 o'clock kickoff on ABC. You got number 10 Miami at 7 seed Texas A&M. A&M is favored by 3.5, and it is not lost on me that Carson Beck is playing at Texas A&M before Georgia does. Uh,
Uh, got
um,
him.
um, I'm actually not sure about this one. So A&M's running back that's been hurt is like still hurt, and I think that he's kind of like questionable on if he's going to be back or not. Um, I'm going to go with A&M just off defense because I think Carson Beck will probably like start turning the ball over. But I actually do think this could be a good game.
Give me Miami on this one, Jim. I
Ooh,
think Texas A&M is about as fraudulent as it gets.
okay, okay, all right. Um, next up, the 3:30, and then like I don't know, I can't believe these. Do we need to pick the other two games? Number 6, Ole Miss hosts 11 Tulane, 3:30 on TNT. Ole Miss favored by 17 and a half. What is going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Ole Miss on this one.
Yes, I agree. Um, and then I don't know, like that should be a playoff game. Sorry, I need to stop being so negative. Um, rounding it out, Saturday night, JMU, number 12 JMU at number 5 Oregon. Oregon favored by 21 points. Dan Lanning makes it back to the quarterfinal. Ducks roll.
I'm curious, Ducks roll, yeah. I'm curious what is the weather report for Eugene?
Mm,
Let's see here. It's supposed to be a high of 48 degrees. Just trying to see, is it going to be snowing there? High of 48, low of 38. Does not appear to be snowy weather conditions. Yeah, give me Oregon in this one for sure. I was just wondering if we were going to potentially see a blizzard bowl.
gotcha. Gotcha. Um, what's College Station's weather like at Cal Field
Isn't
on
College
Saturday?
Station like hot?
Uh, yeah, it looks like it's like 50 right there right now. So never mind.
Yeah, warmer. It's a warmer. I did see someone saying Norman could potentially have had snow, but um, I think it's going to be fairly warm there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, cool. Well,
That's what.
that's your CFP
Yeah, it's
first
going to be
round
it's going to be
pickums.
68 degrees in Norman.
Okay. Okay. So no snow stuff. I do think that Indiana Notre Dame game. I feel like there was light snow last year, if I remember, but could be wrong. All
Yeah,
right.
like those are all reasons why like we should be playing some of these games on some of these college campuses because I mean if you were playing in Indiana and it was you're playing a team from the South like that's a major that's a major benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. 100% for sure. Look, cool, man. Apologies on the schedule. I am unable to read text messages apparently. So sorry. As we're
You may
trying
be
to
reading this Saturday morning.
so my bad on that. But yeah, no, it was fun to get together, preview this. And then we got to figure out the timing, but at some point we'll at least after this weekend, um we'll be back to preview the Sugar Bowl against whoever we're gonna play.
Yeah, we're gonna have to at least wait until after the Ole Miss game. So,
Yeah.
um, Ole Miss Tulane, so we till we see a winner. But yeah, let's sit back and relax and enjoy enjoy your kids and wife, and then next week we'll be back to ignoring everything. Go
uh,
dogs.
go dogs.